Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, everybody. We are back again on Active TV for another interesting interview. Today we have our brother Lasana Sidibeh. Lasana Sidibeh is another talented Gambian youth who is doing very big in taking the name of Gambia to another level through his writing skills. Lasana, welcome to Active TV, Lasana.
Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be live on Active TV. As you
Yes.
rightly mentioned, Gambia is our country. So writing, we
Mhm,
venture into writing as one of the most important way as far
mhm.
as life is concerned. So thank you so much for having me on live on Active TV.
Yes, Lasana. I think this is the first time we're having you here.
Yes, this is the first time.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure to be honest. I always welcome people on my platform, but I feel very happy and you know grateful anytime I invite people like you, people who are doing positive things. Trying to put the Gambia on the map when it comes to talent. It's very important to have such a high profile on my platform, Active TV. Alasana, Lasana, where are you from originally in Gambia?
Okay, yeah, to talk about my brief biography, I am Lasana Sidibeh, a
Hmm.
final student at the University of Education, formerly called Gambia College, pursuing
Okay.
advanced diploma in education, majoring English language and SES. So I am a proud citizen of Wuli West, a village called Jakunda.
Okay.
So it's where I was born, and also I attended my primary school in Jakunda Lower Basic School. Then later on, I proceed to Basse, in a school which is called Nasir Senior Secondary School. Is where I did my upper basic school. From there, I continued with my senior secondary school. Then I graduated in 2023. Then in September 2023, I got admission to the University of Education, formerly called Gambia College. So this is my educational career.
Okay, that's your educational background. Which family are you from, Alasana? Is it a humble background or are you from a rich family?
Yeah, indeed. For me, I can just say I'm from a humble background, a humble family. I cannot
Mhm.
term it as a rich family. Yeah, because in this life, it's not easy. So I
Yeah,
can say that I'm from a humble family. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask you this because I know education is very expensive.
Honest to
Most
God.
places in Africa. So by looking at your educational background, your family
Yes.
must have go through a lot of sacrifice in financing your education. You know, how
Exactly.
was it? How was it like for your family, your parents? When it comes to financing your education.
Yeah. For me, during I started my education at primary school level at grade one. So my education journey started from a humble
Hmm.
background.
Oh, we have a bad connection there. We are very sorry for that. So we still wait for the reconnection. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
Sorry for that. Somebody just called me direct. So let me continue from where I stopped. I'm very sorry for that.
No problem. Yes, yes. So yes, Alasana, how
Yeah.
was it like?
So
How
during my primary
difficult was
school,
it
as I made mention,
Mhm.
it is not an easy thing. My family, they have done well, as I said. But for me, when I was doing my schooling, it was not easy. My family, I always like, for example, when it comes to the side of lunch, we all know that in the Gambia, it is very common as a student when you are going to school, your parents have to give you lunch and other things. But me, at that young age, I understand how my family is. So for me, It is not
mhm,
necessary sometimes, even when my parents decided to give me a lunch to go with it. By then, $2 is a huge money, or
mhm,
$3 I can have a half bread to eat. But
mhm,
sometimes, even if they give me that money, I make sure that I return a change, or sometimes I even make sure that let me not even, inform them when I'm going to school, because I know when I inform them, they will try by all means to see how best where they will get money and give it to me. So
mhm.
with all that, and I know their condition, giving me that money will not be easy. So they might make some effort. So it is not an easy thing. Sometimes they might give me money to
Mhm.
as a lunch, but I go with the money to school because of the family I'm from and the condition I know. I used to
Yeah,
go to school without eating that money. So when I come back, sometimes I even return the money to my parents. I used to
yeah,
tell them we have ate this and that, but sometimes I did not used to eat actually. But because of the condition that I know at that young age,
mhm.
that drives me, to make sure that, I make sure that, let the family don't suffer as far as my education is concerned. Though it is
Yeah,
not easy, I will sacrifice. Yes.
yeah. You have gone through a lot of sacrifice.
Sure.
Trying to make sure that the family is safe. Even though they are giving you lunch, but you try to
Sure.
give the money back to your family as the situation was very, very, very tough. That
Sure.
is very, very sad. And that's a very good thing that you were doing. Okay,
Yeah.
Alasana, Lasana, sorry. I always call you Alasana because I have a brother whose name is Alasana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lasana, um, how proud are
Mhm.
your parents, seeing their son writing a whole book,
Mhm.
the book you call
Mhm.
Beyond the
The board.
Borders? How
Mhm.
proud are they?
Yeah, indeed, my family, the entire village, they are all proud of me because they have been seeing, the post in all the medias, including TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah.
YouTube. So they have seen my name everywhere. They have seen my book that
Mm-hmm,
this is the young boy which is called Lasana Sidibeh from a
mm-hmm.
village called Jahunda in Wilderness who produced this book. So
Yeah.
indeed, right now, not only my family, but the entire village of Jakunda and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire district at large. They are all
Yeah.
proud of me. People do normally tell me, keep it up. I usually get motivation and also
Mm-hmm,
encouragement from a lot of people. And there are a lot of people that are willing to support as far as my this book launching is concerned. Those
mm-hmm.
supports are not enough. We are still seeking for more support. But
Yeah.
indeed, they are all proud of what I have done just by writing this book.
Yes, we will come to that. We will share the phone numbers here, the wave number, the account numbers for anybody who want to support this book launch.
Okay.
We will definitely talk about that. But before we talk about that, Lasana, tell us how everything started. Like how when did you sit and think that you have to write a book? How did it
Thank
start?
you. Yes, thank you for that wonderful question. Yeah, as we all know, it is not an easy journey, but to make it summarize, it had started since my senior secondary school. That is my first year, first
Mm-hmm,
term in grade 10. That is the senior secondary school level. It's
mm-hmm,
where I get exposed to a subject which we call literature. So
mm-hmm,
since I get exposed to the literature, and also at the beginning of the time we learn the definition and also the important and also the functions of literature. So
mm-hmm,
since I heard about the most of this important of literature, I said, wow, this is a good area for me. I don't regret venturing into this area because I know how good I am when it comes to writing, when it comes to creative thinking. So me
mm-hmm,
venturing into writing skills or having a course or subject like literature is not a regret to me. So we started having things like poetry, novels, prose, and other things. So that exposed me to writing, and also I learned whole a lot as far as writing is concerned through literature as a subject. So
mm-hmm.
then I take this as a dream since grade 10. I said there will be one day I must make sure that I release a book, I write a book. So then I used to write poems, then I will go to assembly, then I will perform it. Sometimes at times I created a platform where we have up to 300 people at the beginning. So people will call, I want you to write for me a poem, then we'll perform it. I will say I can write you for the first time, but next time I will not write it for you. What you will do, you have to see me, then I'm also I share my experience on how to write what you request for.
Yeah.
So that a lot of people to come to me. I have a lot of mentees, and also I
Mhm.
serve as a mentor to a lot of people in this region.
Yeah. So people believe
Okay.
you, they make you their mentor, you are like a kind of coaching them.
Yeah. So this, the writing journey continues from grade 10. Then I moved to grade 11. Then from grade 11 to grade 12. But throughout from grade 10 to grade 12, I'm still writing. I used to be writing all the times. In fact, sometimes some people will ask me, "How comes you every time you are just writing?" I said, I make sure that anything that comes to my mind, because
Mhm.
writing is something, it's just like it is just like a time. There this
Mhm.
particular time will be full of ideas, full of creativity, but you will
Mhm.
sit sometimes you will love to write, but there'll be nothing in your head. Sometimes you said, I don't have anything to write. So that's why
Mhm.
anything for me, I have the chance or I have the idea, I make sure I write. So
Yeah.
this is how it continues. I make sure that anything I write since grade 10, it is well safe and it is properly kept. So most of my documents, I have a diary. I used to write everything there. After I get to tertiary level, now I started getting I got my own laptop rather.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
where now see my grade 10 materials, my write-up. Now I transfer everything to this laptop. Then at the beginning of my tertiary level, now I continue with it. Now everything is compiled in a one document, whereby I have all these files when it comes to my writing career. So this is how I was able to develop a collection of African poems that consists or that talks about even beyond the Gambia, beyond Africa at large. That's why this title,
Yeah.
Beyond the Border, come to an existence. So I completed this book in 2024, but due to the financial constraint or financial issues, I was
Mhm.
unable to complete the book. But thank God, Alhamdulillah, we still keep on having people small, not that much huge, but at least few people will try to contribute something to make sure that this book come to an existence. This is how my writing journey started, and also it is in progress for now.
Yeah. Amazing. 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 How long did it take to complete this book? To have this complete, book. How long did it take?
Yes, this is also a very important question. This book, we can just calculate from grade 10 now on my third year, which is the final year at the tertiary level. You can say now 5 years I have
Wow.
been working on this book to make sure that it is completed, and it took me 5 years to complete this book.
Wow. 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 5 good years. You are
Yeah,
writing, compiling, sleepless nights.
sure.
It's not easy. A big, 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 big congratulations, Lasana. Did you call it pages or paragraphs? How many paragraphs or how many pages did you have, in this book?
Yeah, we have chapters. We call it chapters.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each chapter consists of different poems.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in this poem, we have what we call 38 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
We have 38 chapters whereby we can say the first chapter contain what we call the evil eye. Then from there, we have African education. Then
Mm-hmm.
we have campus existence. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have the tongue. We have a lot of poems, but I'll be naming few
Mm-hmm.
in it. So by continue, we have what we call fulfillment, and we also have can't cage me. We have election. We have corrupt citizens, and
Mm-hmm.
also a rock of the earth, abandoned culture, the
Mm-hmm.
black man, the Negroes.
Okay.
Trust me. So all these are some of the things that are included in the book, and there are also chapters, or I can say topics of
Yeah.
poems.
Yeah. 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 But one important chapter you just named here, for me that is the most important thing. You know, Election is very important in this book, Lasana. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
talk to us a little bit about election, then we move to African education.
Very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, this, the reason why I wrote this poem, and I make sure that it is, I wrote a lot of poems, but not all are included in the book.
Yeah,
But this poem, I deem it necessary for the public to read this because it is going to change the mindset of many citizens in this nation, and that
correct.
can lead to the positive impact of the citizens. So
Mm-hmm.
election, we can all know election used to be conducted in this, country or in the world at large. But for
Mm-hmm.
this country, every 5 years we do experience elections.
Yes.
So, but I sat down this particular day. I see how election goes in this country.
Mm-hmm.
It is never encouraging.
Yes.
The way people think election is and how election is
Mm-hmm.
totally different. So
Yeah.
that encouraged me, and also it motivated me to come up with this idea to have a point which talks about election and also some of the positive impacts that that the citizens can hear, and also it can change their mindset,
Mm-hmm.
including one of the first stanza of the poem. I said by election, general election, primary election, re-election. When it's time for election, selection, conclusion, and even decision, let us elect the best out of the rest. So if you
Mm-hmm.
see this stanza, it's talking about whatsoever election, make sure that when you are selecting or when you are electing, you elect the best out of the rest, not to
Yeah.
select because of favorism or tribalism, or not to select somebody because he is a friend to you, but
Mm-hmm.
select the best out of the rest. The poems talk about whole a lot. This is just the first stanza. If I said we will discuss this here or analyze it, honestly, it will take us a lot of time.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I want us to just, to briefly explain, so that the viewers can understand. Now,
Exactly.
yeah. Now, Lasana, let's move to African education.
Very
Talk to
good, very good.
us about African education.
Very good. This is also a poem that is in the book which is called Beyond the Borders that will be launching this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
African education, we see African education as us, the Africans, we think it is the best education system ever we have.
Mm-hmm.
But me as a writer or as a poet, I see this as an educational system that is never encouraging. I will not say it's not good, but it is not, contributing towards the successful or the development of our this nation. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you see, we have been independent for now 60 years with
Yeah.
this educational system, but yet still there are no ways that can show you that there are improvements. But what I'm saying, we are experiencing what we call neo-colonialism, yet still we are free, but we are not fully free, because what I'm saying, we have been, neo-colonized by the outsiders. Though we are, running our things halfway, but at times we do consult what we are doing right now. Instead of writing or instead of reading histories about our this own country, I will not say our learning system is not good, but to me, it is really lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes if I see the outside world and also see what is happening in the Gambia,
Mm-hmm.
particularly in our tertiary level education, I feel
Yes.
sometimes I feel like to cry. In fact, because
Mm-hmm.
it is not encouraging. Because
Mm-hmm.
yet still, if you check in our tertiary level education, there are
Mm-hmm.
some of these things that we are learning that does not have any benefit. Like imagine what learning things like lizard, and also like learning things like grasshoppers, making them, drawing them on board, teaching these children, telling them that grasshopper is having this kind of lead, lizard is like this and like that, and also learning about how air is, how many percent is air in the atmosphere. So to me, all those things are not necessary. They don't have any use as far as our life existence is concerned. So sometimes when I think about all these things, and we are still learning them, but they do not have any benefit for us. And also our learning is mainly focused. It also stop mostly within the four corners of the classroom. And also where I want our curriculum to be changed, let it be beyond. the four corners of the classroom. Because if you see, we should have, these skills whereby students can learn, they can implement a lot of skills as far as our educational system is concerned. But if you check out this educational system, we don't have any skills. The only skills that we have, maybe during upper basic or senior secondary school, they say woodwork and other things. But even those ones, we are not learning as the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to do. We only focus on exam and other things. That's why at the end, most of the times, Gambians we will graduate. At the end, we cannot have work. We'll be sitting. We cannot know the means whereby we can get money and also take care of our family. So I see all these things are some of the things that are contributing poorly to the development of our this nation, because it does not have any use. There are a lot that needs to be mentioned, but you can only understand by reading this poem, African Education, and analyzing it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That is a very important point. We are in Gambia and also in Africa. So I think to have a good education, we have to look at our environment.
Exactly.
We have to talk about our environment. We should not focus on other parts of the world, because we are not living in the same continent. Yeah.
Mhm.
Lasana,
Okay.
now let's
Yes.
let's talk about this book launch.
Okay. Okay.
The launching is happening on the 23rd of May 2026 this year.
Yes.
Where
So
is the
yeah.
venue and the starting time? Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, talking about the event, which is the book launching Beyond the Borders, I
Mm-hmm,
call it 23rd May is the Beyond the Borders Day,
mm-hmm,
as most of our flyers contains. 23rd May Beyond the Borders book launching is going to be live and direct at the University of Education, Basse campus. And also the reason why this time it is happening in Basse campus,
mm-hmm,
because the citizens of URR, the students of URR are not getting access to witness occasions like book launching. But we
mm-hmm.
have students that have been dreams to write, dreams to do a lot of things, but because of the lack, or not having the opportunity to witness occasions like this, that will inspire and motivate them for them to overcome or fulfill their dreams. So that's why we deem it necessary. Yet still, people say, why is it that you don't come and do this at Combo,
Mm-hmm.
Penjami Hall, Paradise Shootout? I say no. The advantage, or what Combo people deserve, the citizens of URR also deserve as well.
Yes,
Or it's
yes,
not about the journalism, but sometimes it is very important for us to centralize things. Because if you see sometimes
mm-hmm.
decentralizing things, because if you see
Yes,
everything is centered at one place in the Gambia, that is in Combo. So
yeah.
I want to make a change whereby if this happens, I'm hoping so that we'll have other writers that will come and make their book launching in this region as well. Not only URR, but CRR, NBRR, LRR, WCR as well. So the book launching date is 23rd, this Saturday, live
Mm-hmm,
at Basse University of Education. Some call it then Gambia College. And
mm-hmm,
the event will start 2:30 p.m. That is Gambian time, half past 2. We
mm-hmm,
will be having also dignitaries, high dignitaries, people like the governor of URR, Honorable Sambaba, the
mm-hmm,
chairman of Basse Area Council, Honorable Cisse, who is a brother and also the deputy chairman of Basse Area Council,
mm-hmm,
the chancellor, the Gambian chancellor in Russia, Honorable Habibullah K. Jao also is currently in the region, will be there. We'll
mm-hmm,
have the University of Education Central Admin Representative, GRA representative, mother of the day, father of the day, sister of the day. We have all of them with
mm-hmm,
their various names. So, and I myself, my family will be here all the way from Jakunda to make sure and witness this occasion. We'll be
mm-hmm,
having GRTS, we'll be having Paradise TV and other medias, and all the medias are invited.
mm-hmm,
This is Beyond the Borders Day, 23rd of May. Come and support, come and witness a history for the first time in URR, a URR citizen launching his book.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a something. It's something that you should you know you should brag about, because
yeah,
coming from URR, doing things like this, is amazing. Now,
sure.
Lasana, we all
Yeah,
know, launching is not easy. Like, it requires a lot of money. You need
yeah,
financial support. Tell us, how difficult it is
mhm.
to stage an event like this, when it comes to financial accept of it, financial side of it.
Okay, thank you so much. It is very, very difficult, particularly in the Gambia, to write. The
Mm.
writing journey itself is difficult, talk
Yeah.
less of launching.
Hmm.
It is not easy to publish a book and also to launch it.
Yeah.
Honestly, as you rightly made mention, it requires a lot of finance and also a lot of support from people and
Hmm.
also a lot of connection from
Yes.
different individuals.
Hmm.
So if all these things are lacking, even if there is money but the connection is not there, it will be
Hmm.
very difficult.
Right.
Vice
Right.
versa, same thing as well. Even if there is connection but no money, nothing is impossible. So all of them have to move together. When
Hmm.
people said, "How come you are launching a book, you publish a book, and then now you are launching?" I said, "I am not from a rich family, but this
Hmm.
is a
Hmm.
that was
Yeah.
in my mind since long time ago. So I
Hmm.
will make sure that I'm fulfilled. If I
Hmm.
tell you, some of the things that I sacrificed to make sure that this book
Yeah.
launching will taking place, you won't believe. But
Yeah.
indeed, I have sacrificed a lot.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. It's not easy. Now, if, for example, someone is watching this video and the person want to support, want to join hand, in helping you to have a very successful launching when it comes to, financial support, how can people help you? Do you have any
Yeah.
wave number, account number to share?
Yes, yes. I have a wave number. If anybody want to support Lasana Sidibeh,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes called the talented poet, if you want to support this book launching beyond the borders, you are highly welcome. Either in cash or kind, you
Mm-hmm.
can contact us on 3393696. And also that 3393696 is the wave number that we are using for the support for the book launching. So if you have any support, our wave number is 3393696, and also the same number as well, the APS wallet number
Mm-hmm.
3393696, as it is stated on the flyer. Yeah, so these are some of the ways if you want to support, you can support us through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So, this is Lasana Sidibeh. As he said, he is having a book launching in Gambia, in Wuli Jakunda. He's where he's from. A young talented boy from Gambia. Writing a book, we all know it's not easy. Like, 5 years journey, it's really not easy. So, like, we need all your support. Either cash or kind, any kind of help you can give to Lasana Sidibe. He will really appreciate. These are his numbers, as you are seeing in the screen. So please help him, so that we can have a successful book launching. He's a Gambian, 100% Gambian, living in Wuli, Jakunda. Lasana, what message do you have for the Gambian youths?
Yeah, thank you again. The message that I have for the youths or the young people of this country is that, this country belongs to us, the youth or the young people.
Mm-hmm.
The old people cannot develop this country. The children cannot develop this country. But
Yeah.
it's only the young people, the
Mm-hmm.
youths of the Gambia that can be able to develop this country. What
True.
I have for this is that let
Mm-hmm.
us see Gambia as our country. Let us
Mm-hmm.
see Gambia as our blood to make sure that whatever cost it will take, if Gambia
Yeah.
is going on the right direction, we make sure that we make sure that we take it to the right direction, because
Mm-hmm.
this country, if it is going to be bad, it is because it is going to be led by us, the young people. If it is going
Mm-hmm.
to be a good country or a developed country, obviously it is going to be from us, the youth or the young people of this, amazing nation, which is called the Smiling Coast of West Africa.
True.
Indeed, I'm very glad and I'm good. I'm a proud citizen of the Gambia. No matter what, Gambia is a blood to me. So the way I take Gambia, I expect each and every youth or young Gambian to take this country as your own family, as your own daughter, or as your own son, the way you take care of them. Because if we do that, we will, progress together, no matter what. Together we can do it. That's what I have. And also for the young writers that are coming up, as you can see, I am below the age of 23, I can say. So, but
Mm-hmm.
people do normally say, how come this young boy can be able to craft a book like this? I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's not about age, it's about
Mm-hmm.
what is in the mind. So, as
Yes.
far as I myself can do it, what about you?
Yes.
If I can do, if Lasana can do it, then all
Mm-hmm.
the Gambians can do it, no matter
Yes.
what. Just have the
Yes.
passion in your mind and
Mm-hmm.
make sure you work towards your dream, and it is going to be a reality one day.
Right. Right.
Yes,
That's
that's what.
that's good advice. Just focus, 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 and you will be like Lasana. What Lasana can do, you all can do. Lasana, thank
Yeah.
you all. Thank you so very, very, very much. It's a big pleasure having you on my platform, Active TV, for the very first time.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm saying, thank you, and also I wish you all the best of luck, on your book launching this 23rd of May coming Saturday. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I'm glad though I have been following this page. But it is all about passion and dream. I make sure that one day I will be, live on this, TV, which is Active TV. I'm a
Yeah.
bona fide follower of this page. Especially
Mhm.
on Facebook, I am really following the page a lot. I get
Yeah.
updated as far as current affairs in this nation is concerned. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, and also you are really doing a great job, and I really appreciate you for your wonderful time and effort, leaving all the ways to make sure that you update the youth and also the
Mhm.
update the whole world at large, not only the Gambia.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Lasana. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is the book. The book, a copy costs $500, but for the
Yes.
students of the University of Education, a book is discounted to $350. For the students of the University of Education, as course mate rather, and collegials, it is a discount on upon every student that is living within University of Education, 350. But the normal price for the book is 500. It is available. The advance, booking is available. People are buying it. So come for the book launching on Saturday and grab your copy and be inspired, be educated, and also learn and change the
Mhm.
society.
Yeah. But Lasana, those who will not be having the opportunity to be in Woodley, how can they
Exactly.
get this book?
Yeah, for those that are not living within the region, URR, we are having people that are, we have network in all the corners of the country.
Mhm.
Yeah, so all those contacts will be listed, and also it will be published on various platforms. For example, if you are from CRR South and you want the book, there'll be a particular person and the contacts will be shared, and that person will be having the book. You just contact and you will receive your copy. The same thing as well, all the corners of the country, as well as Combo South, Kanifing, Latrikunda, Senegambia, and also Banjul. So this is how we plan it. So hence it is launched. No matter wherever you are in this country, you'll be able to grab your copy. And also we'll be linking with some of the booksellers or some of the people that are selling books in this country to make sure that they have the copies of this book in their various bookshops so that students can get access to it and buy the books.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Lasana, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you once again. I'm glad, it is a pleasure.
Yeah.